All right, let's think about this. You're just scrolling online, maybe YouTube, looking for something interesting.
Yeah, relaxing maybe.
Exactly. And then, bam, an ad pops up. It's promising something incredible, like 50 lakh.
Which is, what, 5 million rupees? Huge amount.
Huge. For a single euro coin you might have lying around. I mean, it sounds completely unbelievable, doesn't it?
Totally too good to be true.
And that right there, that's the hook, that's the allure, and unfortunately also the trap we're going to dive deep into today. We're looking at the recent Rs20 coin cyber scam, specifically how it caught a 68-year-old man in Hyderabad.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive. We want to go beyond just, the basic news story.
Right.
Our mission here is really to pull apart the mechanics, understand the techniques these scammers are using, the subtle ones, the not so subtle ones.
So you, the listener, can walk away better protected.
Exactly. We want you to really get how these schemes operate. It's more than just knowing that it happened. It's understanding how.
That sounds like a really valuable goal. And to do that, we've been looking at the official reports, the advisories about this specific case.
Right. The primary sources.
So yeah, get ready. We're going to break down the facts step by step, straight from those sources. Let's trace how this whole thing unfolded for the victim.
Okay.
So to really get a grip on this scam, we need to follow the path the victim took. The sources tell us it all started with that YouTube ad we mentioned.
The 250 lakh offer for a 220 coin.
Exactly. Our guy, 68 years old, saw it and, well, who wouldn't be tempted, right?
Of course.
So he contacted the number, the one given right there in the video.
Yeah.
And that call, well, that led him straight into this whole setup.
It's web.
Yeah. So what was the very first thing that happened after he made contact, the initial hook?
Well, what's really interesting, or maybe concerning, is how fast the scammer set up a believable front.
Okay.
He called himself Raj Gyani, posed as a serious coin buyer, offering top prices. And his very first ask wasn't huge.
Right. What was it?
It was for 1,500 euro. Now, not for the coin itself, importantly.
Oh, okay.
No, it was supposedly for legal formalities and documentation to create a file for the transaction.
Sounds official-ish.
Exactly. And that's what psychologists call the foot-in-the-door technique. It's a classic.
How does that work?
Well, once the victim pays that first smaller amount, there's this psychological principle, commitment and consistency.
Okay.
You've already made a step, you've invested something, even if it's small. So you're sort of psychologically primed to agree to the next request. Just stay consistent with your initial action.
Because you don't want to feel like that first payment was wasted.
Precisely. It leverages our desire to see things through once we've started. It's really quite effective.
That is cunning. That initial fee for legal stuff. So it wasn't just the money, it was getting him to do something, to comply.
Yes. That act of compliance is key.
And it worked. The sources say he paid it. He thought, okay, this is part of a real profitable deal.
Believing he was on his way to that 50 lakh.
But obviously that was just the start. What came next? It wasn't just one fee, was it?
Oh, no. Not at all. What followed was like a steady stream of demands. More money needed again and again.
Each time with a different reason.
Yes, each time with a new official-sounding excuse. First, it was supposedly for courier charges.
Okay, makes sense if you're shipping a valuable coin.
Then insurance for the shipment.
Right, another plausible cost.
After that, they needed money for, get this, tax clearance.
Tax clearance before he even got paid.
Yeah. And finally, certification fees.
Wow. It's like peeling an onion, isn't it? Just layer after layer of fees.
Exactly. You can almost feel the pressure building, the trap tightening.
Yeah, absolutely. What keeps someone paying through all of that? After so many requests, wouldn't suspicion kick in? What's the psychology there?
Well, connecting it back, it's about increasing that pressure, but also playing on the initial investment.
The sunk cost idea.
Kind of, yeah. He'd already put in time, effort, and now quite a bit of money. It gets harder and harder psychologically to just walk away and admit you might have been wrong, or worse, scammed.
Especially with that massive prize dangling.
Exactly. That 50 lakh is always there, just seemingly one more payment away. The sources show that over time, he ended up losing 1.46 lakh.
1.46 lakh rupees. Wow.
And importantly, it wasn't one big transfer. It was paid in multiple installments.
A drip feed.
Yes. That makes each individual loss feel maybe less catastrophic, more manageable in the moment, especially when you're focused on that huge potential payout.
That makes sense. It masks the total amount draining away. So this raises a big question. When did the penny finally drop? When did he realize?
That's maybe the most revealing part. According to the sources, he only really got properly suspicious, when the scammer demanded another huge sum.
After the 1.46 lakh was already gone.
Yes. The next demand was for an additional 1 lakh.
One more lakh on top of everything else.
Apparently, yes. And that seems to have been the breaking point. That massive extra demand finally made him realize something was deeply wrong.
So, after losing almost 1.5 lakh, it took another 100,000 rupee demand for the alarm bells to really ring loud enough.
It seems so.
Yeah.
At that specific moment, he understood he'd been tricked.
And what happened then? Did the scammer try to justify it?
Nope. Typical playbook. As soon as the victim hesitated or questioned it, the scammer just vanished. Stopped responding completely.
Ghosted him.
Essentially, yes. And that's when the victim finally went to the police and filed a complaint.
Okay. And what did the police find? Did they confirm the methods?
They did. The cybercrime officials looked into it and basically confirmed what we've been discussing. They identified phishing techniques.
Phishing, right. But like you said, not just email phishing here.
No, exactly.
Okay.
In this context, the phishing was broader. It started with crafting that deceptive YouTube ad itself, designing it specifically to phish for victims to get that initial contact. The bait, yes. And the other key element they found was intense emotional manipulation.
How so?
Playing on that strong desire for a quick, massive return. Exploiting the victim's hope, maybe his financial situation, building trust through that initial professional interaction.
Even though it was all fake.
All fake. It's not random. These are calculated strategies. They're designed to exploit very basic, very powerful human emotions and psychological triggers.
It really highlights how sophisticated these scams can be, just layered manipulation. And because of this, the Hyderabad police actually issued a public advisory, didn't they?
They did. A necessary step, urging people to be really, really cautious about these kinds of get-rich-quick schemes.
Especially the ones showing up on social media, video sites like YouTube.
Yeah, basically anywhere online where these things can spread quickly and reach a lot of people.
Their warning really nails the core issue, I think.
What part stood out to you?
Well, they had this line, your awareness is your first line of defense.
That's it. That's the key message, isn't it? It puts the power, or at least the first step, back with the individual.
Yeah, and they gave specific advice too, like flat out. Don't transfer money to unknown people.
Seems obvious, but in the heat of the moment, with that big promise,
it gets overlooked. And they also stress verifying any wild claims, especially like in this case involving money, currency, collectibles.
Right. Those are classic bait items because they feel tangible and potentially valuable. Verify, verify, verify.
So let's just quickly recap the main takeaways from this whole Rs20 coin scam.
Okay.
We saw that initial hook, right? An incredibly tempting online ad.
The YouTube ad for 50 lakh.
Which pulled the victim into this web of escalating demand. Small fees at first, then bigger ones.
Each designed to exploit psychological principles, that commitment bias, the focus on the big reward.
Right. And the police confirmed it wasn't just bad luck. It was deliberate phishing, starting with the ad, and intense emotional manipulation throughout. Calculated strategies.
And this specific case, it really shines a light on the bigger picture, doesn't it? Digital vigilance.
That police advisory line again?
Your awareness is your first line of defense. It's fundamental. It's not just about knowing this one scam, but about building that general habit of caution online.
And remembering the core advice. Don't send money to strangers. Verify those extraordinary claims.
Especially for things like old coins, notes, collectibles, anything that promises huge value quickly. And crucially, know where to turn if it happens.
Right, the resources.
The police emphasized using the 1930s cybercrime helpline number or reporting online at cybercrime.gov.in. Those are the official channels to use.
Definitely good to know those resources exist. So we've unpacked this specific scam, but it leaves us with a broader thought, perhaps.
Yeah.
In this world where we're just constantly bombarded with online stuff, opportunities, ads, some real, some scams, how do you, the listener, build that consistent habit, that habit of critical thinking, of always verifying things? How do you make sure that the next tempting offer that pops up doesn't turn into a really costly mistake?
That's a really important question to ask ourselves regularly. How do we cultivate that skepticism without becoming cynical?
Yeah, something to chew on, definitely.